And we are live. Welcome to Fun in the Country Basement, where the Chris Riley and Fun King 3D will work on great projects while I just sit here and look dumb. So y'all get ready to have as much fun as a hog in a mud hole. I'm Walter from Kuntry 3D. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Kuntry 3D. Now let's turn it over to Glenn so he can tell you all about himself.
Hey everybody, I am Glenn from Fun King 3D, and sometimes I have a Xander and sometimes I don't. Typically on these streams, I do not. But we are a father and son team that does 3D printing and electronic projects. And lately we've been most known for not doing anything. No. We've been working on the FK1, and that's actually what I'm going to be working on today. If I can get the bed off of it, I'm going to attempt to install the heater. We can be found everywhere at Fun King 3D. That'd be you, Chris.
All right. My name is Chris Riley, and I have a couple of 3D printers. That I'm also known as Chris Don't Break Riley. But that's just for today and this shirt. Yeah, I am on YouTube/Chris Riley. I am now on Twitter as well, Chris Riley 3D, and you can follow me. I don't post a whole lot, but hey, I try. But looking forward to another Fun in the Country Basement. It's been a day of streams and printing already, so why ruin a good thing? Let's keep it going.
All right, so I guess I get to chat now. I got to go scroll way back up here. We've got Martin, 3DP Iceland, Trolling for Dollars, Big Steve, Roderick, Thingo, Radio Man, Ronnie Julian, Bo Hermanson. Oh, I got to catch up. Carl, Knack 3D, WM3D Prints, 3D Print Llama, Sean Gould, Pete C, Richard Horry, Terry Dews in the house, Christopher Zwicky, Scalda YT. Come on, catch up. Where am I at? I'm not catching up. There we go. Patrick Nijenhoff's in the house, 3D Medic Vince. I miss him at Hawk 3D Proto, Darren Anton. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. There's Tristan. All right. Glenn, what are you working on today, man? Other than maintaining stream and not locking out with
keeping my butt cheeks clenched up and hoping that it doesn't reboot. Again, 4-hour stream last night with no hitches. So I'm gonna hope that that's that. And I do want everybody to know that problem really kicked my butt. That was the first time in a long time that I had to just start throwing parts at a problem. That was awful. But my plan is to pull the bed off the FK1, which unfortunately it's still over there, and I plan to leave it over there for right now. So I'm going to pull the bed off of it and bring the bed over to here and attempt to install the heater on it. So, and this is my benchy from last night for those that didn't get to see it. This is my see, now I can't even remember what it's called. It's the Pirate King, the Octo Pirate King Benchy. So it is the Fun King head with the eye patch. He has an octopus body, and he's driving the Benchy. So, and it was a very impressive print. It turned out really nice. Still not big enough, though.
Well, I do have to tell everybody, thank you for noticing. I did get a new flag. It is cleaner, and it's an actual flag, not just a towel. I'm going to stand up now and try to let me pop this up just a little bit. I'm going to start on my fan. Chris, what are you working on, buddy?
Well, I got this printer that we put together this morning. I need to tune it in, do some slicer tuning and things like that. But I also I'm working on a project with Log here, and I don't know if he's in chat, if Mad Mike is here or not, but Mad Mike and I had a discussion a long time ago, and he wanted to know, is it possible to actually clone a Prusa through and through? So basically, you use all the firmware, the skew detection, all the black magic that they bake into their firmware. How close could you get?
Right.
And that is what I intend to do. How close can I get with Log? And one of the stumbling blocks is that I'm going to fix right now is this build uses end stops with PCBs on them, the larger type. And because I was following Tom's Dolly build. And the stock Prusa uses just a regular micro switch. And that, if you use the PCB, that eats 20 millimeters of your build volume. So I'm going to swap that part out on my X carriage and use a standard micro switch so I can get actual dimensions of a Prusa. That's what I'm doing right now.
Cool. Well, as y'all know, my part cooling fan on my Hypercube Evo quit. So I am going to try to, and keyword is try to. I have one of the little 2-pin connectors because these fans come with the little connector on it here. So I hit my mouse button. I am going to try to solder this onto the existing wire so that I can just plug it in. That way the next time the fan goes out, I don't have to do anything. But first,
Tristan, this is going to be a clone of a Mark II. So I will be switching it out with a mini Rambo that I purchased from our friends at Printed Solid for a very reasonable amount of money.
I have to find an Allen wrench so I can tighten the fan down. So, Glenn, are you actually working on something today?
Yeah, I'm at the FK1. I can hear you.
Okay. So you're moving the FK1 over so we can see it? Because no. I was asked about that in Chris's stream today.
No, I'm not gonna drag this whole thing over there. I'm just gonna take the bed off and bring just the aluminum over.
All righty.
It's so big and it's so hard to move around, and it's and I just realized that I still don't have the right screws for the bed. I need to place another hardware order. But no, it takes up so much room. I have to like split those benches, and then there's no room to move and stuff. So I'm just going to pull the aluminum off of it and bring that over, and then install the heater.
Cool. Oh, you know what I should have been doing, and I haven't been doing? I should have probably had my soldering iron on so it would be heating up, right? I think Chris told me one time that they work better if they're hot.
Yeah. Unless you just want to stab holes in things.
Well, yeah. Sometimes. You know, you just look at the printer and go, you need some holes in you, buddy.
Yeah. The stream this morning was somewhat interesting. We had a mass amount of trolls today, and they were not being very nice at all.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never had that happen, but they were flooding in. I ended up making like 5 more moderators just to handle it.
You're making the big time now, Chris.
I guess. Boy, that was very inconsiderate of those trolls.
Well, I do want to tell y'all that this fan that I just took off, and you see it in the overhead right there. See that it's got spray paint in it. This was on my original ANET A8. It has made the rounds. So it was about time for it to die anyway.
It's had a long life.
Yes, it has. But the cool thing is I have a brushless motor here that I may be able to take this fan off of and actually use. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, Mapper06 is in here. Yeah, he full-on cloned a Mark III. There's a few little things here and there that's going to make my clone project interesting, and you will see all that as I video it, of course. But one thing being that I don't use 4-start lead screws. So that's going to be a change.
Is it just because you don't have the 4-start, or because you choose not to?
I prefer single-start lead screws. I do have, all fails, I do have a set of 4 starts, but I'd rather not use them.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was a preference or if it was just happened to be what you had.
Yeah, and that's one nice thing about the Prusa. They have the motor shaft lead screws, as you know. Those are really nice, but can't get them in very many sizes.
Well, and then if you end up bending a lead screw, you have to replace the whole motor too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen how-tos on how to replace them, but doesn't look like anything I want to do.
It's not. Yeah, it's not easy to pull that.
Well, you're talking about getting the epoxy and all that stuff out of the way, and
yeah.
Well, anytime you take a stepper motor apart, you've pretty much trashed it.
All right. I guess I should have looked and made sure I had the parts to replace this before I took it apart, huh?
I don't know if you can't see it, but just out of camera range, right over here, I was moving boxes today to get stuff out of my thing. And I'm like, oh, there's a Mark 42 just laying on the floor under all these boxes.
Yeah, Walter, so it said that you were streaming like all day yesterday on YouTube. What was the 1080p test?
I don't have any idea. Oh, no, I was doing 1080. Yeah, I was, they tried to get me to do 1080p yesterday. And man, OBS, I don't know what the deal is, but now when I start OBS, it takes it like 20 seconds before it's actually streaming. And I still haven't figured that out.
Wonder if it has something to do with the encoding.
It may, but anyway, so I finally got it to stream 1080p live from here yesterday. And if I had a mobile camera where I could like take you outside and show you, I have the modem outside the window and I have some cardboard jamming it into a little crevice so it's out of the rain so that the antennas are outside the window and not inside, because it would not do enough speed with the modem on the inside in order to do 1080p. So yesterday I was streaming, trying to get the 1080p working, and it was a success. So cannot complain too much.
Awesome. Yeah, Bo, I've got that on my other PC over there. I've got Walter's Discord. I'll bring it up and check those pictures out. Martin, 3DP Iceland, yeah, he's on here too. He was working on one as well. I got to check his out. They're working on 0 infill benchies.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That'll never float.
Yeah, that's true.
This would make a good bench top.
I'll bet it would.
So I must have had this thing screwed on to the printer, not totally flat. Because it was totally flat when I got it, and now it's got a little raise in this corner. Flip it around, make sure it's not the bench.
James, I thought you'd been at 2,000 for a while. Did something happen?
The purge.
Oh.
He got purged because he's a cheater.
Who got purged?
No, I don't know. I'm just picking on James. I don't have the chat where I can. Oh, it's over there. I moved it to a different screen, and now I'm not used to it.
We exchanged. James and I exchanged back and forth the other day about Americans and Canadians. It was pretty humorous. I won't repeat it, but it was a good time.
James is a funny guy.
But all you have to remember is that James was wrong, whatever he said.
Unless he said A at the end, then you know.
Yeah, that was part of the going on. So it was pretty funny though.
Mapro 6, it still blows my mind too, and I look at it every day. This thing is a beast. But it's very difficult to work on, just for the record.
The beast from the east.
Man, it's been a while since I put one of these together. If I would have remembered all the work it was, I probably wouldn't have started this today.
Well, that was my Prusa sat there for a couple of weeks with the hot end all torn apart on it just because I just didn't want to put it back together. And then I finally said, you know, I just got to do it. And so I had it sitting on the bench from the week that Josh was here. Was that last week? Yeah, it was last week. And so then I thought, well, I could just move it back or I could just put it together and then move it back. So I haven't calibrated it yet, but it is back together.
Excellent.
And my CR10S Pro is awesome.
Is it working good?
Oh my God, it is amazing. I didn't have high hopes for it. I really didn't.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like every other, you know, overseas kit that I've ever messed with. And as soon as it printed so beautifully, I jumped up and down on the E10 or on the E12 and smashed it into little bits. And then, no, I didn't really.
But you felt like it.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't think about it.
You picked up the CR10 and rubbed it in its face. Look.
I drive a very large pickup truck. I wouldn't mind running it over. That would make for some epic video.
No, that's good to hear. No, that thing costs some money though, right? I mean that's not one of their cheaper editions.
$5.99 right now.
Yeah, see, it's a little close to Prusa territory for my liking.
Yeah, but it's bigger than a Prusa.
Well, it is bigger, but
and
that's just your thing, Glenn.
I
Because
know
things have to be bigger.
I am all about the bigger, but I mean, look, like there was some issues with the octopus himself, but I mean, look at the quality off of that.
It looks good.
It printed beautifully, and then their test print, their little, I call him Lucky Dog because of the Lucky Cat. He was test dog, but I mean, he turned out really, really fantastic. Me and my AIO Robotics PLA.
Boy, that soldering job sucked. But you know what? I think it's going to hold.
God, this thing smells exactly like a Harbor Freight store.
Yeah, we're all using OBS cam, right? Phil keeps saying they're out of sync. That's just the price we pay.
Well, between using the OBS virtual cam and then it being on Hangouts, yeah, it's like a tenfold issue.
Yeah.
Hey, I think I just pulled a Chris Riley.
Oh God!
I was over there looking for the tape in the drawer, and looked down. It's in my hand.
That's one of my favorite moves.
I hear you.
All right. So as of right now, I can tell you that the company I bought this heater from is not good at putting the holes where you told them to. They are definitely off a little bit.
Come on, man. I think your measurements were off. They got it right.
I sent them CAD drawings. That's how anally retentive I was about it. And I'm like, I want the holes to be 5.25 millimeter. Oh, we can't do that. Is 5 okay? I'm like, fine, 5. I'm going to punch them out anyway. Of course, I don't know if a paper punch will reach in that far, but.
What's the difference? What's the difference in lead? Go ahead, Glenn. Well, this is going to be a long one.
Well, there's a 10 millimeter dead space around all of the holes so that when I put the spacer on there, it doesn't crush the heating element. So I got room to punch the holes.
Gotcha.
What was your question?
No, Steven Lightspeed said, "What's the difference in lead screws?" And it's all about resolution. Now, I tell you what, I've done those videos before, trying to explain the difference and doing the math and technically explaining it well. Chuck does a much better job with the whole magic number thing. That was a really creative way of getting that point across, in my opinion. But that's a good video to watch. But basically, it's all about how accurate a microstep can be, and they're not that accurate on a granular scale. You got to understand when I say accurate, I'm talking, micron, hundredths of microns. But the closer you can get to a full step and land on that step, always you're going to have more accuracy. So if you have a single start lead screw, your numbers are always, and you stay on the right side of the decimal point, they're always divisible by themselves. And that's all I got.
So let's get the keyboard and go over here and see if we can turn the fan on 100% and see if it'll actually spin this time. This is the first time I've ever hosted one of these where it says the health of the stream is good.
Awesome. It's a good feeling to improve once in a while, isn't it?
Well, hopefully the people out there can tell the difference in the in my stream quality here as well.
Yeah, it's night and day different.
Oh yeah, it was all grainy and stuff before.
Huh. Well, that ain't good.
Whatever that is, it doesn't sound right.
Sounds like a helicopter.
Oh yeah, let's see what's happening.
Is it a black helicopter?
Oh, I see what's happening. Oh, one of my that's weird. Where the hell did you go? There you are. One of the one of the wire ties had gotten around and was hitting the end of the optical sensor, so it wouldn't allow the flag to get in to cut the optical sensor off.
Gotcha.
So it couldn't home. Let's
yeah, James.
Nope, that wasn't it. Hold on.
I caught some pushback about that video, and it's because of microstepping. I mean, and people are right. So you get down to 250 thousandths or something like that. I mean, you do eventually get an even number, but that's not the point. You're still in a microstep, and that microstep is never going to be as accurate as a full step. So again, it's on a very granular level. But single start lead screws also have another benefit, and that it's almost impossible to backfeed one because of the pitch is so flat.
Interesting. Because I know the ball screws on FK1, I mean, just even a little bit of overexertion on the chassis and it runs the ball screw. But I don't know, could that just be because ball screws are like so smooth, like super ball bearinged?
Yeah, well, yeah, and with ball screws, that's exactly right. They're so precision, and for what they use them for, yeah, they're just really easy to feed. But yeah, single start lead screw, you can lean on it and not backfeed it.
Huh.
But they're really slow too. So I mean, like bed leveling and things like that takes quite a bit longer. So it's something to get. It's a trade-off, of course. You can also get 2-start lead screws. I mean, you could halves it, but that still kind of has the same problem as a 4. It's all math.
This is going to be a pain in the butt. I just need to say that publicly. I'm not exactly sure. I'm thinking maybe if I take a razor blade and like slice the backing, very carefully slice the backing at stages, and then just peel and stick it a little bit at a time. Chris does crystal math.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
What's the G code to set the cooling fan to 100%?
106. 106.
Yeah, it was 106 or 107. It's one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other.
One will either turn it off or the other one will turn it on.
Yeah. In all other firmwares except for Marlin, they disbanded the off setting. It's just S0 or S255.
Yeah, the 106 command and the 107 command are not supported.
What firmware do you have?
This is RepRap, just a duet.
Oh, then it's 106 S255. Sorry, I didn't realize what you were working on.
G106 command is not. Is it M106?
It's M, yeah.
My bad.
I keep this note on my desk just for when James shows up.
All right, so I got nothing on the fan.
A lot of times he comes in without any audio. I don't know what the I-81 that I wrote on there is, but
yeah. So Martin, that's a TR 8x8 lead screw. That's 4 starts, 2 pitch. So anything that's divisible by 0.04. So a 2 millimeter layer height works good. 0.2, 0.12, 0.16, but not a 0.15. So as long as it's divisible within that 0.4.
My OCD wouldn't let me use an odd number anyway. So.
And that was the big point, is a lot of people were using 1.5 layer height because that was kind of that's a preset that you see a lot. And you end up squashing a layer eventually. You're going to have on a microscopic level, you're going to end up with one that's smaller. Sergio is here, by the way, HVAC A to Z. He is a great friend of the community and sends me stuff once in a while. He's a good dude.
I'm just looking at, Tom, 3D Printing Llama, and Carl Schoenman. Just do it. Stop whining. Just do it. I frankly don't want to screw up a $100 heater. So I'm going to take a razor blade to it. I'm going to use my handy dandy Fun King 3D knife.
I was using mine today. It works amazing.
It's so super sharp too.
Call from 888-611-6904.
Right, Martin. And yeah, that on that lead screw, yeah, you wouldn't want to use 1.5. But 1.2 or 1.6 would work just fine.
Huh. That's weird. That's a weird.
Pro tip, do it, but don't screw it up.
I didn't think about that.
James,
when I reached out to Matt at Printed Solid about the PEI sheet, being available in that size, he said, yeah, but it's going to be a pain to install. And I'm like, well, what hasn't been a pain to install on this printer?
No kidding.
Yeah, that worked out fine. I cut through the paper, and I mean, if that light of pressure of that blade cut through this heater, we got bigger problems anyway. It's heavy. This heater probably weighs a good 3 or 4 pounds.
Somebody, I think it was James, asked me if I was rebuilding. I'm just swapping out the X carriage parts so I can use a micro switch.
Martin said it's going to be either an epic fail or an epic success.
That's one that will really irritate you if you mess it up.
Yes, you may hear me say something not family friendly.
It's cool. It's Walter's channel.
Yeah, it's not like he's never done it on here.
No.
I mean, son of a bitch, mother. Some. That ain't funny. I don't find it funny. Got to resolder this thing. It didn't work. That sucks. I got an idea though. I got an idea. I damn told you that'll work. Hold on, turn the power off because I want to print. I want to print now, not later.
No, 2 meter long build tack sheet's not going to be easy either, Carl.
Do you guys use genuine build tack sheets? Do you have any on any printers?
Sorry, Jay said, Glenn, just use hairspray. I'm sure you have a lot of that laying around, just like me and salads. I don't have anything with an actual build tack. I do have a build tack spatula, but I don't have any build tack sheets.
I'm right there with Glenn. I've got a build tack spatula. It came in a Alien 3D box.
Mine was a gift from a fan of the channel, but it's also good for home defense if you got to kill somebody.
True.
Get one in each hand, and they're like ninja weapons. No, I always say it's Piopoly, but I've heard people say it's Piopoly. Somebody, I'm telling you, we need to start a website that does nothing but list the pronunciations of all of these things.
Like pronunciation?
Yeah, like pronunciation.
Pronunciations.com.
Like slicer. P.
Don't get me started.
What's that?
Don't get me started.
Yeah, Tony Ryan just put it too. And you know that whole, calling Simplify 3D simplified. I like that. I think that's got a good ring to it.
Well, that's like IC3D. If you just look at it, it's iced.
Iced, yeah.
Every time I see IC3D, I think of Kmart and Icy's when you were a kid.
Right?
The polar bear.
No, what was great at the Kmart was those ham sandwiches they had. The ham sandwiches with the lettuce. And you got like 6 of them in a plastic, like a tube bag. Oh, those were good.
Glenn and I have different definitions of good.
Takes me back. A little mustard on that. Oh, that's some good stuff. At Pupil, Jeff Bowen said, P.O. Poly, got it straight from the horse mouth at Murph last year. So good. I was saying it right. P.O. Poly. But yeah, I have one of their build sheets that I've never used because it's a 300 by 300. I won it in a giveaway. I didn't want to put it on the E12. I didn't want to waste it. And I didn't really want to cut it down either. And then I had I've used Gecko Tech, which is awesome. So yeah, like everyone announces Glenn's channel, Fun King 3D, and it's actually Funking 3D.
Funking 3D.
Games. There's a space in there. Plug and play. I mean, print and play.
Plug and play. Not only is plug and play terrible, it involves Windows, which makes it double bad.
Are you out of your Fun King mind? Sometimes I think I am.
All right. You know what? I had to resolder my wires, so I used the poor man solder. I stripped it, twisted it, and black taped it.
I would never do anything like that.
Sure you wouldn't.
Okay, I haven't done anything like that today.
Today. There you go. Today. Hey, y'all will be happy to know all 8 printers are in the camper now.
Nice.
I couldn't find my little spatula for my SLA printer though. Kind of upset me. All right, so let's run some code on this thing. I'm gonna turn these 2 off and tilt you back down.
Man, I don't know what I was thinking when I put these smooth rods in this plastic parts. I must have whacked them with a hammer or something.
All right, so I'm gonna move this back forward just a bit. There we go. We can.
What's Prusa Mark III smashing numbers? Those are 4-start lead screws. So anything divisible by 0.04. So 0.12, 0.16, 0.2, anything like that.
I need to
just don't use 0.15.
Deactivate when not using. There we go. Now. Okay, so we got to run a G29 on this thing. Everything else looks good. How much filament do I got on this thing? I got enough to do. It might make a benchy. Maybe.
Somebody asked me for a video the other day, and it was about static IPs or something. I don't remember what it was now. But you want the one for ANET install?
Yeah.
I've got one where I do the E10. It's going to be real close if that helps. 15 thumbs down on this morning's stream. All right.
Is that all you got? Come on, man.
You need to step up your game.
I'm kidding.
Why is Glenn's chair always empty? Because it's just like his head.
Oh. Hey, so we got to start thinking about a giveaway for Murph.
I was going to ask you about that if you wanted to do something.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, that was so much fun. That was so much fun. Even though I had to stand in front of all those people and like talk and stuff. But I'm thinking we'll do it as a fun in the country basement giveaway.
We can do that. I could probably weasel somebody out of a printer kit.
Well, I'm sure between the three of us, we have to have enough connections in the market that somebody be willing to step up.
Yeah.
I don't have any connections at all.
You don't have any connections. Nobody likes you, Walter.
Nobody likes me.
Nobody likes me. I like you. Nobody good likes me.
That's right. Well, James likes me, so that's good.
Right. Nobody good likes you.
All right. So
I think that was on MTV years ago. This kid was like, nobody likes me. And she's like, I like you, Billy. And he goes, nobody good likes me. This mat is too sticky to run a squeegee on it. So I'm trying to come up with something I can roll this out with. A rolling pin?
Gusner, there's some debate about baby stepping and auto bed leveling. So if it's running the Z, is it overriding the step algorithm for microstepping? And it is not. That Scott, it was on Twitter the other day, but Scott kind of gave us a rundown of how that works inside Marlin, and it turns out it still applies. I'd have to go back and read it one more time to explain it. But yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. But the firmware does work it out eventually back to where it should be.
Yeah, what does that guy know about Marlin anyway?
Yeah, like he's never worked with it. I can't believe he actually took the time to answer some of my questions. I was shocked. I figured that guy was like full on, busy constantly, 100%, no time for anything.
But you're the Chris Riley, man. I mean, come on. Talking about connections.
I know a couple people.
Yeah, but we don't count.
But see, that's another really cool thing about this community is it doesn't matter of your, like your level of celebrityism. Like you're accessible.
Yeah.
It's just cool. I mean,
yeah, you know what? It's really funny, Glenn, because Chris even answered my phone call when I called him on the phone the other day during my stream.
No way.
That's accessibility.
I could tell you totally didn't expect me to.
I don't ever expect you to answer my call.
I should have looked at the clock and then realized that I bet you I'm on live with Walter on the phone, because I didn't realize that until I don't know if I was going to tell you this in one of the streams, but you're so lucky I didn't just start swearing.
Yeah, you're supposed to notify the person. By law, you're supposed to notify the person that you're broadcasting them.
Well, no, that's what I wanted to hear. You know, right out the gate. Just demonetize my channel right off the bat.
Hey, Walter, how the f are you?
Right.
You old so. That would have been so funny. Your viewers right then would have blown up. They would have loved it.
I think we could have made that part of it go viral. I'd have cut it out and made it a video of its own.
It was pretty funny though.
All right, well, no going back now. A third of this thing's stuck down. It lined up pretty good. A little bit off on this hole, but I'll trim it with my handy dandy Fun King 3D knife. I use my Fun King knife and cut it. Maybe I should have plugged this thing in first and made sure it got hot.
Wow.
Nah. Why test things?
Right. Well, they did email me about 2 weeks after it arrived and asked me if everything was okay and if it was working okay. And I wrote her back and told her I was a procrastinator and I hadn't installed it yet.
Well, it is a printing. Let's see if I can get a camera up here to get a little closer. I don't think so. There's just no way to get up underneath the head like that to take a picture.
No, there's not. You know, I was thinking about that just the other day. You know what would make us a little bit of money is if we could figure out a really creative way of a live preview camera right at the nozzle level.
You know, I actually talked about that on one of my streams, not for preview.
You can.
But for actually monitoring the model to make sure that your model didn't break loose and you were actually printing like you were supposed to be.
They sell those little endoscope cameras on, you know, like Gearbest and Wish and all that. They're like 8 millimeters in diameter and they plug into a USB. They're tiny. They're pretty lightweight. I mean, you're still adding more mass to the extruder, but I've considered mounting one of those right at the nozzle.
I've never seen a setup with something like that, but I would be interested to try one out.
Well, and they're cheap. They're only like $10. In fact, I got one around here somewhere. And they have LEDs in the end of them to light up whatever you're looking at.
Awesome. Well, we got to do that then.
Yeah, here. Let's see if I can get you.
Otoscope.
So that's all the bigger it is right there.
Nice.
So, and then it's got LEDs in the end. And then there's it's got like different lenses and stuff that you can put on there. But yeah, it's pretty slick. You can plug it into a, I don't know if it would work hooking it into Octoprint, but you could plug it into a cell phone and use it like a IP cam, I suppose.
I've been dropping stuff all day. There's so many cool things to buy and do. Just no time to do any of it.
And not enough money.
Yeah. Why is there more stuff, but I don't have more money to buy it with?
That money stuff was just unlimited.
Oh.
I'd
be really bored all the time.
I'd be so dangerous with unlimited money.
Yeah. I'd be dangerous with Chris's money.
Yeah, I can get kind of that way.
What we been doing here?
I got to decide which I've got like 2 builds to do, live builds that are maybe somewhat easy, and then I have 2 that are going to be, oh my god, this is the worst build I've ever done. So, so I got to decide when I'm gonna. I have builds to take me out into summer. I have a feeling, so that's going to be interesting. Plus, whatever I get my hands on at Murph, because if it was anything like Earth, I had way too many opportunities to buy things.
Well, I have to tell you, I am so happy that I got all 3 of these cameras working at one time now. This is so much better.
Looks good, man.
It's working for me. We see your hand, Glenn.
Oh, I didn't change back.
Are you rolling out the biscuits?
When you're rolling out the dough, make sure you roll it slow. If you roll the dough too quick, your Billy Bobkas make you sick. 10 internet points to anybody that can tell me where that's from.
It sounded like the same tune as the Limbo.
It might have been. It was from a TV show. I'll give you that much.
I don't have a clue, man. You're way older than I am, though. So
yeah, everybody knows that you are older than I am, Walter, by a long, long way.
Yeah, by what, a couple months or whatever.
That could be a long way.
On my Hypercube, I have a 5-inch touchscreen. Brian.
One that works on Wi-Fi. Ooh.
What, an otoscope that works on Wi-Fi?
I think that's what he's talking about.
Oh.
He does HVAC, like advanced, like serious HVAC. He's been doing it for like 35 years. And I think he has all kinds of cool toys like that.
What's up, Kathy O'Malley? How are you? How's the weather down there? It's nice and warm.
Kathy's
a 1-foot touchscreen.
our Australian, one of our Australian folks, right?
That is correct.
I watched Quigley Down Under the other day.
Did you? That's a good movie.
Haven't seen that in a long time. It was on TV.
We watched it not too long ago. And by not too long, I mean like within the last month, I think we watched it.
Not bad.
Heat wave.
All right.
Brian, which one are you looking at? I don't know what display you're seeing because on my Hypercube Evo, you can't see the display in any camera. Are you talking about the one back here on my TiVo?
Yeah, the one behind you.
That's a 7-inch on the TiVo. And this one on the TiVo is specifically built for the TiVo. So I don't know if you'd want it for other printer or something, but
I think James got it.
You standing tall?
Oh yeah, he did. He got it back there. It's from Perfect Strangers. With Balky, cousin Balky.
Yeah.
Balky Bartakamus.
Balky and cousin Larry.
Wasn't that a spin-off of another show, or was there a show spun off of it?
No, it was spun off of another show.
Remember spin-offs and how they were rampant? That doesn't really happen much anymore. Yeah. Not like it used to.
The Goldbergs just spun off into a new one called Schooled. I've only seen one episode of it, but it's pretty funny so far. I got air bubbles under this and I can't get them out. That adhesive is too gnarly.
Balky had a spinoff? I didn't know that one.
He was tired of cousin Larry's crap.
Me too. Cousin Larry didn't know how to party.
He didn't know how to roll out the dough, that's for sure. That's about the only episode I remember of that show.
I couldn't tell you much about it. I was pretty young when that was on.
Oh, you said Family Matters was a spinoff from Perfect Strangers. Why? Because Carl, the policeman, was in Perfect Strangers?
That must have been.
I mean, that'd pretty much be what I would think it would be. I don't know what other tie they would have, but you're right. They used to spin off like left and right. I think the most recent that I remember though was what was it? The Cleveland show off of Family Guy.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't. Have they had any other recent ones?
Well, again, the Goldbergs just spun off into Schooled.
Oh, James said the wife operated the elevator.
So we've probably been over this. Where are you guys staying for Murph?
The Hampton?
Well, I'm hoping I'm sitting down. Oh. Yeah, the Hampton Inn.
Okay. Somebody
that's
said
where
that they were somewhere else, but I don't
I
remember.
thought that's where you were staying too.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I just couldn't remember.
It's like the Murph Hotel.
Yeah, the last year I stayed in the one in the front. I can't remember. Days Inn. It's not the Days Inn.
Comfort Inn.
Comfort Inn. Yeah, it was nice, man. It really was nice. Nice hotel.
Did they have breakfast?
Yes.
Yeah.
Full breakfast, actually.
I don't even remember where we were at last year.
Y'all were down the road somewhere, I think.
Yeah, it was a little ways down. It was like right across from that Walmart.
Yeah, see, I never saw. Wait, did I see the Walmart? Yeah, because that was down past us.
Well, I got a heater.
Yay.
Now just plug it in and see if it works.
Yeah. I'll just
Hey, it's 120 volt. Just take the wires and stick them in the socket.
yeah, I'll just twist them like this and just jam them in there.
You only got to twist. Wait, how many pairs of heaters does it got on? How many heaters does it got on it?
It's just one big one.
Oh, well, why you twist them together for? Just stick one in each side.
No, twist them. You know, like twist them.
Oh yeah, that's it.
I can
there you
jam
go.
them in there because it's like a 14 gauge wire.
Yeah, then just stick them in the wall. See if it heats up.
Something will heat up.
Nope, it looks like it's about 8% infill. Mr. Moritz. Mr. Buttram's staying at the Comfort Inn.
Well, that's close. Yeah.
That would make a good hashtag, Robbie Mack, on Twitter.
What's that? Oh, holy crap! That's a big silicone heater bed cups.
Yeah. Here you, Big Steve.
So I was thinking the other day about benchies, as I usually do.
The Kuntry 3D show was a spinoff from Chris's Basement. So wait, so Chris's Basement was how to do everything, and Kuntry 3D was how not to do a damn thing. Polar opposites. Yeah, that'll work.
All right, Chris. So you were thinking about benchies.
Yeah. So Daniel Ray no longer works for the company that owns the benchy currently, right?
Who? What?
Daniel Norray.
Right.
He no longer works for the company that owns the benchy.
Correct.
But, he's still the father of the benchy. And I do happen to print a lot of benchies.
Correct.
What do you think, monetarily, what do you think it would take to have some sort of stake in the benchy game? Like, I own share in the benchy or something like that. Is that possible? I don't know that company. I don't know anything about them. But I think I could make something happen.
That would be pretty funny. Have stock in benchy.
It would be awesome. I was like benchy certified. I own this person. I have like a bond. I'm bonded in benchy creation. Something like that. It would be awesome.
Are you testing that, Glenn?
Am I testing it?
Yeah. Are you hooking it to something to try to heat it up?
When I put it on the printer, I will.
Yeah, Ben, ask Daniel. Daniel knows who I am. I've met him before, and he'll probably laugh when you ask him. But it would be funny to see what he said.
Fun King 3D was a spinoff from Nillabene. Absolutely. I will admit that 100%. If it wasn't for Nillabene, I probably would have never done this.
I think Carl got it the most right, though. Technically, this is a spin-off show from all of our streams.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
This whole stream just started as a reason for us to get together and hang out and do whatever we wanted to.
Well, I remember, it was around the same time I sent you that E10. Maybe it was just a little bit before that. Contacting you, it's like, hey, we should get on a stream and just talk. And it never happened. I mean,
yeah,
I'm
really bad about making stuff like that happen.
Yeah, and that's where this, eventually we got around to this, but it's hard to find the time to do this stuff.
No, it's really easy. It's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday.
Now it's baked in, so.
Well, now I will tell y'all that next Sunday, since Glenn is going to host and we don't have to worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
If I join the stream, if I am on the stream, it will be from my phone. We have to go drop my daughter off at Orlando Airport. And, depending on what time it is, I may be able to stop by Glenn's. I may be able to do it from Glenn's house.
Oh, my God, that'd be awesome. I could put on my Walter beard.
Right?
Of course, I have to make my Walter beard bigger now.
But that may be, I don't remember what time she gets on the plane. I think it's 2 o'clock. So by the time I left there going to your house, it would be right at time to be on the stream.
That'd be pretty awesome.
But then it's a 3-hour drive after the stream, so I won't get home till like 9 or 9:30.
Wow, Wellers aren't fused on the primary? That shocks me as well. No pun intended.
What? Weller what? Are we talking about soldering irons?
Yeah, I'm guessing he's referring to Weller irons.
Hey, Chris, Daniel's coming to the chat.
No way. Chat?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Daniel is one of the nicest guys in the whole world.
I was so excited to get to meet him and get his autograph. And
yeah, Hawk requested that Daniel pop over. So
nice. Chuck Hellebuck was standing there, and I had been talking to Chuck before, and then Modbot for Daniel from Matter Hackers was standing there. What the hell was that? Anyway, and then there was somebody standing next to Chuck, and he was talking. He's like, "Hey, do you know Daniel?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know Modbot." He's like, "No, Daniel Norey." I'm like, "Holy crap, that's Daniel Norey."
The Daniel.
Well, there's Daniel Norey in the chat right now.
There he is.
Hey, Daniel.
What's up? So I was talking about benchies, and of course you came up. Well, after me, of course. No, I'm just kidding. So who currently owns the benchy? I know you created it, but is there somebody that owns the rights to it? And could I somehow get a piece of that action? He probably is like, I'm not even going to touch that.
No, he's probably still laughing hysterically, going like, "You want what?"
Yeah, who?
A piece of what?
Well, like there's money in benchies, right? I don't. Could I buy my way into like having a stake that I was involved with the benchy somehow? Like I was a certified benchy creator or something. I just kind of want like a tester. Yeah, I want something like, a certificate with a seal on it or something. I don't know. Oh, Creative Tools still okay. They own full rights now, so I would have to get a hold of somebody at Creative Tools, and I don't know anybody there.
Just wait till they figure out they can copyright claim on benchy videos.
Oh, that would ruin my career.
Chris is doomed.
Uncle Ron's in the house. By the way, Walter, my wife said that if you do come, she will make a baked ziti and she will even bring it up to you up here so that you can eat it on stream.
Sweet. That's if she's feeling better, man.
Creative tools. Okay.
Yeah, it'll take a little while for the antibiotics to kick in or whatever, but she's in pretty rough shape right now.
Hey, Chris, make sure you copy that email, man.
Oh, well. Thank you, Daniel, for coming to the stream and putting up with my inquiries. But I think it would be really funny.
We should have Daniel on here as a guest one Sunday.
Most definitely. Thank you, sir.
I was going to copy it for you since you were working. Tell them Daniel sent you.
Chris, what if they want to charge you for excessive use of Benji?
Well,
I got a question for Daniel, though. Daniel, you coming to Murph this year, man? I know you were there last year.
I think I seen him say he was.
I thought he said he couldn't make it this time or something.
I don't know.
I need him to be there. I need another signature on my bigger Benji. Hopefully on my big Benji.
Well, guys, it's been an hour. If any of you aren't subscribed to myself, Chris's Basement, or Fun King 3D, now would be the time to subscribe and ring that bell, and you know how it works.
Uncle Ron wants to know if the back of your shirt says "crap, it broke."
It should.
Daniel said he's not coming from Murph this year.
Oh.
Oh well. There goes the crowd. Nobody else is coming either.
No, that's it. I'm canceling my reservations.
I'm out.
Stay home. The ship has sailed. Got to get a Benchy band. Yeah, I'm gonna. He's like, "What do you mean you're printing Benchies? You now owe us $35 per Benchy."
Wow.
I'm gonna meet you guys so I can run my heat gun.
I don't know what kind of deal I'm expecting, but it would be kind of funny.
I really need to take the time and clean the nozzle and clean everything off the tip of this thing. And this filament has been sitting in this printer for probably 3 or 4 months.
Ooh.
Or longer. Let's pause it so I can clean it off. It's not doing too bad.
You were right, Carl Brown. I would be more than bankrupt.
I hope running that heat gun near the heat bed didn't hurt it.
Hey, you may have got it too hot, man.
It's ruined. Take it off.
Take it off. Do it again.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. You know how hard it is to get a PEI sheet off?
Yes.
Impossible.
Well,
same adhesive.
Apparently not too hard, because the one that I've got on this is peeling up on this back corner back here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was Skalda had pictures. He ripped a huge hole right in the center of one of those PEI sheets. It must have been PETG or something. I felt so bad for him. I was like, oh, I've had that day happen.
Oh, I'm absolutely terrified of that happening to this. I mean, I rip a hole in the middle of a $150 PEI sheet. That's going to be a bad day.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, Neary's is in the house. Red Light 34, what you doing, buddy? Ray Cruz, welcome. Yeah, Glenn, you got to say it right. It's not the PEI that's hard to get off. It's the adhesive underneath it.
The 3M adhesive. That's what I said. It's the same adhesive. So, Poppy Ron got Ryan's Ender 3 running the other night. Oh, he was talking to Poppy Ron. I thought he was saying Poppy Ron's printer was working.
What are the dates of Murph? Isn't it 29th, 30th, and 31st?
Sounds
Yes,
right.
sir.
It's right at the end of March, yeah.
Yeah. So, Chris, you're flying. Chris is flying in on what? Let's see, February, March. Chris is flying in on the 27th, and we're hauling butt that day.
Whatever you say, man.
We're gonna haul butt that day to Ohio.
That's right.
Spend the night in Ohio, and then get up early Friday morning and go to Indiana.
Oh, see, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna drive right to. I'm gonna drive right to Goshen. It's only a couple hours.
Oh, are you not gonna spend the night?
No, I'm gonna go right from Goshen. I got my reservation for Thursday night in Goshen.
I do not. Mine's the 29th, 30th, and 31st. So,
Hello, Sholm. If I didn't say hi to you today.
Storm's in the house.
Awesome, Carl Brown. That is good to know. That is good information. It's easy to install a mosquito thermistor in Duet because I was curious about how that was going to go down.
I gotta say, it's really weird seeing this thing without a bed on it again.
man, I love this printer.
Well, that's good, Walter.
This thing freaking rocks. Man.
I love all of my printers. Well, except for that pile of crap over there.
But I printed this one, and it prints so friggin' good, man.
That's what Walter said. Glenn's like, I love all my printers. That my first thought was, I love a lot of my printers, except that one over there. I hate
Except
it so
that
much.
I actually, right now, I do not have a printer that I dislike. I need
That'd
one.
be a good feeling.
I need one. I need to get me a Trunksy X5S.
I know where you could get one. Cheap.
If I get it slinging parts across the room.
You can just you can pick it up from Chris when you pick him up on the way to Murph.
Right? I'm not picking him up on the way. I told you he's flying into Tallahassee.
I got to fly down there and come back.
Well, but the thing is, though, now, you know, when we leave Goshen, then I have to drive through Missouri to take you home.
That's true.
Well, then there you can pick it up, and then you're not toting it around the whole weekend of Murph. Win-win.
I can't just live in Florida permanent. They don't have basements there.
That's right.
That is not true. I could have had a basement. I am 70 feet above the water table.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I could have had a basement, but I didn't know until too late.
There's actually a house that I know of from high school that had a basement in Crawfordville, which is only about 10 or 12 miles from here. They had a basement as well. So,
which is scary because you guys are really close to the ocean.
yeah, well, 12, 13 miles is decent, I guess. But we're not that far away. What's Ex-Vico Pioneer? What is that?
That's this thing right here.
Is that printer you got that you had today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need that. That looks like so many other printers that I have.
Yeah. I fully intended to work on that today as well, but it's already after 5 o'clock Eastern.
Tom said, I think we'll name that printer Frown King 3D.
Frown King 3D.
Glenn lives on a mountain by Florida standards. That's pretty close. Yeah, if I had a basement, I would have a tunnel from my basement to my detached garage, so that I could, if I needed something out of the garage, I could go get it to the basement.
That'd be sweet.
I would have a cool basement set up.
I got a question for y'all. On your Google Hangouts, does it ever tell you that the current configuration, the video's primary and backup streams have different frame rates?
No.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I don't know how do you figure your backup stream? I mean, how does that work?
I don't know. There's almost no configuration to.
Right. It says you need to configure the streams to have the same frame rate.
You should try Googling that.
Yeah. Sure. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do.
I don't know if you guys ever watch Saturday Night Live. Occasionally it'll be on when I'm still awake and I'll just catch a little bit of it. And last night it was on and I don't even remember what the skit was about, but it was something about millennials. And the guy says, well, you know, it's really hard working for a startup. Who do you work for? And she says, Google.
Hey, Ronnie Julian.
Right.
Ronnie Julian asked me where I found this blue T-slot at. Was it painted? Thank you, Neresh. Thank you for jumping in there. No, Ronnie, I printed all of this. This is all printed out of PLA.
Yes, Ronnie. Sometimes we make poor decisions.
Yes.
Yeah, have you seen the
This one was
picture?
not one of them, I have to say.
I think it's in my opinion, Walter. Not that you aren't good at what you do and quite the personality, but that has really made you. I mean, you're the guy that did that.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
that was his draw at Murph last year. That's what drew everybody in.
Everybody wanted to see that, including me. I was pretty impressed.
Well, the Hypercube I actually like better than the i3. But now the i3 is cool because it's just super glued together.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on it next Sunday. It needs a new thermistor. I actually got the thermistor out and laid it on the printer so that next Sunday I have something. Well, no crap. I'm going to Orlando next Sunday. The following Sunday, I will have something to work on.
Bring it with. Work on it here.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. Hauling around PLA printers is not fun.
No, it's one of the reasons that I made sure everything on the FK1 was PETG.
And it's not even the heat, man. It's the weight. I mean, and y'all know how heavy 3D printers are. But PLA is just not made to support that weight. So like when I tote that one, I pick it up by the Z screw motors and the frame so that I'm holding all of that up. I really just don't want it to just break in half. Man, time is just flying by.
This is the first ever decent set of crimpers that I've owned for doing these, JST style connectors.
Right.
And they weren't expensive. I mean, somebody bought them for me, but they're like, I don't know, 20 or 25 bucks for the pair. Worth every penny in buying them.
Even the crappy ones of those are too expensive.
I think about all the years that I fought the crappy ones, and then these are just so nice.
Paul Cumber, I am printing a Benchy.
Hi, Paul.
And it's printing quite well, actually. I have to say, not too bad.
Just remember, you're no longer allowed to say Benchy without paying royalties.
Oh, no, that's Chris, man. Chris has got my back. He owns part of it now, remember?
I want to work some deal in there, man. I am.
I couldn't even imagine what would happen if all of a sudden, like, they did that. Like, if I said, oh, yeah, wow, let's start charging royalties for that or whatever. How the 3D community would rise up against that.
Well, the worst part is I'd be the one that kicked it off, and I'd be banned from everything.
Ronnie, yes, the entire Hypercube build was filmed. Some of the printing of the extrusions was filmed, but yeah, I mean, this is a whole Kuntry Klub exclusive build right here, man. This is a good project. I enjoyed this thoroughly. Sherry Smith said, did anyone else see where 3D Solutech was supposedly doing false advertising along the lines of their product being made in the USA? Someone wrote a brief article on it. Well, they don't have to do false advertising. It's on the box. Well, no, they took the made in the USA. Wait, let me make sure. Yeah, they took the made in the USA off of the box. Now it's just an American flag.
Huh.
So it wasn't made in the USA? Is that what we're saying here?
I don't know.
Spooled in the USA?
Well, that's different.
Which even then it would be technically re-spooled in the USA.
Now I don't know how much 3D Solutech y'all have bought, but used to the stickers were inside the center hub. Now they're in a little plastic baggie out to the side.
Hmm.
So I mean that's a whole change in how they're boxing things and stuff of that nature. I don't have another 3D Solutech box over here, an older one. These are the ones that just came yesterday.
Here's one.
But I promise you that I have some boxes over there that say made in the USA on the box.
Yeah. That's inside the spool.
Oh, your stickers and stuff?
Yeah, this is an old school. This one's about 6 months old.
What does it say? Does it say made in the USA on the box?
100% made in the USA.
Yeah, see, that is no longer, it's right below where the flag was at, right?
Yep. Right
Yeah,
there.
see, it no longer says that. It's just the flag.
Huh. Something's fishy.
Maybe they changed their source.
Maybe. Yeah, because it not even on the little cards that you get in here.
I should probably test this before I put it all back together.
Hey, check this out. This new card that they just sent out. Right? It says, please tie up the filament when you're finished. It's got the little, shows the little holes on the one side here, right? You can't see that. That sucks. Let me see if you can see it that way. You kind of, sort of. But on the back, it says, we want to thank you for believing in us. Now, hashtag 3D Solutech on Instagram to show your prints. We will select 5 prints each week and give out a free 16 gigabyte 3D Solutech USB drive to the makers. That's cool.
Yeah, I forget what I bought. Oh, I bought just a cheapy little Wi-Fi USB, a USB Wi-Fi adapter for my computer that runs the Christmas lights. And it was fairly cheap. It was like $16 or something. And it works great. And it said in there, you know, like if you leave us a review on Amazon, we'll send you a gift. Well, I left him a review on Amazon because it worked really good. And then I see this and I'm like, okay. So I reached out to them. They sent me a 64 gig. Well, in fact, it's right here. A 64 gig USB drive.
Wow.
Sweet.
It took forever to get here because it came out of China, but free is free.
Free is free, man.
Link in the description below. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I do want to tell y'all, I hooked up water to the camper today. I have hot water in the sink. I have water in the toilet. So we are set now.
Big city living right there.
Now if my wife kicks me out, I'm totally ready. Except
I was going to say, is she like really encouraging this? Because there might be more to this story than you know.
the only thing left I got to do is get a microwave.
She'd be like, yeah, Walter, get that camper and move all your stuff in it.
All right.
But I'll miss you.
Now, if I come in and my closet's empty and I come over here and this closet's full of clothes, yeah, then something's wrong.
You'll be over there doing a project late at night and you'll start sleeping on the couch once in a while. And then one morning you'll wake up and you'll be in a completely different county.
Yeah, right. They'd have fun pulling this down the road.
By the looks of it, yeah, I would think so.
Well, the slide outs don't move either, so they're just permanently out. I don't think my benchy's going to finish before the stream is done.
Just going to have to do a longer stream today.
All right, that's working pretty good. I'm enjoying that.
Chris has a printer on his side again. Yeah, it don't take very long.
Napping.
Oh, yeah, where my wife is not feeling good means that I have to cook dinner tonight. So on to the Papa John's app I go.
That was, tell you what, Mr. Roy Holly asked me a good question. So I'm going to show him right here. It looks like a layer shift right there, but it didn't shift far. But other than that, it printed well. Very, very well. Somebody forgot to put supports under the chin and the nose, so I did do a little trim on that.
Oh. Have either of you tried to print with PVA before?
PVA? No,
Yeah.
I have not.
It's kind of a
Thank you,
pain in the
Roy.
butt.
Have you?
I have recently.
How'd it turn out?
It's kind of like printing spaghetti that's made out of bubble gum.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. You posted that on Twitter or something, didn't you?
Yeah, probably.
Same exact saying?
Yeah, it's not that much fun, really. It's really it's printing with glue stick basically, but it does some really funny things.
For those of y'all that watched my stream yesterday morning, y'all will be happy to know I undid all the wires up here. Now everything is plugged in correctly. All the wires are nice and neat. My computer's setting nicely. Everything is straightened over here. It's no longer a mess on the floor in front of me.
Yeah, Elmer's wood glue filament. That's about right.
Elmer's wood glue filament.
Has anybody heard from Shane from Prusa?
Yes, he was on Twitter yesterday.
Was he?
Yeah, he posted his weekly thing, and
Oh, okay.
That
Yeah,
may-
I did see that.
that may have been an automatic post, though. He did message me on Twitter and say he was staying off of it, and he was doing pretty good. So,
Good.
Bo, not even close is the old room totally empty, man. Not even close. No, the table's that wobbly. I'm actually moving the table. So.
That's the problem with like moving from one area to another is you take the stuff that you want first, and then when you get it there, you're like, that's enough, and then leave all the remnants behind.
Well, and I was going to move the workbench today and bring it over here, and I got to like moving stuff out of the way, and I'm like, I didn't even get much closer to the table after I moved all this other stuff out of the way, and I'm like, I still got 3 times that much stuff to move out of the way. But I've got to get my filament shelves over here because they're in the way for me to turn that table and get it out the door. I mean, it's just all kind of crap that's got to come out of there before I can get that done. But you're right, Glenn. Until I need something else, I really don't got to bring anything else over here. Until I go to do something, I go, oh, that's in my room. Let me go get it.
That's how I unpack from like Maker's Fair and Murph and stuff.
Right.
It sits in the bins until I need it, and then I take it out. And then all of a sudden it's time for the next one. You're like, oh, I still got all this crap.
Later, Chris. Neres is leaving.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for being here. I don't think anybody knows what happened with Shane. He just took a break from social media.
Actually, I do know, but that's Shane's taking a break from social media. Glenn got it right. Oh, Neres was saying bye to Hawk. Bye, Hawk.
Oh, bye, man.
Hawk is leaving. I actually brought a garbage can over here today. Woohoo! But once again, it was because I needed it over here. Because if not, my floor would have looked like Chris's floor and had filament remnants all over it.
Yes.
Yeah, I went out and bought a little shop vac, a little 2.5 gallon shop vac for up here, just for sucking up filament and stuff.
That's a good idea.
We have a central vac in the house, and it's a good one. It's got good pressure.
Yeah.
But I don't like to use it like a shop vac. I don't want to take a chance of something getting clogged in one of the lines.
I've got to cut a hole in the wall over here by the kitchen counter so that I can run a fan to suck the fumes off of this SLA outside.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go get one of those like they used to put in the mobile homes, you know, with the little chain on it. So when you're done, you just pull the chain and close it and it cuts your fan off.
Right.
There you go.
I don't know if y'all remember those, if you ever lived in a mobile home that had one.
We had one when I was growing up.
You know, you pull the chain out and let it go, and it turns the fan on as it opens the door, and then I think that would work. That way it stays waterproof. Or weatherproof if you want to.
Yeah, I was going to say it's an RV. They're not waterproof as it is.
Well, this one luckily has a tin roof over the top of it, so it's pretty close.
So what I never got to hear the story on that. Was that yours already, or did you buy it from somebody?
No, my my mother and them lost their house, right? Which is just right here behind me. I mean, it's
Right.
only 100 foot that way.
Right.
So hold on a second. Oh, never mind. He sent that at 3. But yeah, my uncle actually lived in this camper with his wife behind my mother. So when they moved, my mother and them got a bigger house. So my uncle just decided that they would live in one end of the house with them. So that's what they did.
Okay.
And left the fifth wheel there. And I said, what are you going to do with that? He goes, nothing. We're just going to leave it there. I said, can I have it? And he's like, sure. I'm like, okay.
That's country living right there. We're just going to leave it behind.
Right. You know, if they're going to leave it here, then
we don't need it where we're going. We're not taking it with us.
Right. I had to check my Facebook. Nappin told me I had to check it. I'll watch that video after the fact, Nappin. I can't watch it right now, man. But this is yeah, weatherproof-ish. That's right. This is much better, man. I mean, just the amount of room I have in here is much better.
Okay, so I have a conundrum. For those of you guys who are familiar with AC wiring in the U.S., the wire colors in AC are black and white.
Yeah.
And black is the hot one. And white is the neutral. In automotive wiring, you usually have black and red, which is what this is. And red's the hot one, and black's the ground.
Well, there's the line. There is no ground on that. It's just line and neutral.
Right, but
the red will be your line. The black will be your neutral.
But black is hot in AC.
But it's not in the world of Chinese print beds.
Well, apparently not. No, I realize that it doesn't matter.
Right.
Right. It matters to me safety wise and OCD wise, because I want to make black the hot, but yet everybody's going to assume the red is hot.
Is it just 2 wires?
Yeah. What, you think they're going to put a ground in there?
Well, I was thinking I was thinking, well, maybe like it had some sort of zone. It was 3-way. It was
Yeah, no.
like 12 by 3 or something.
No, it's either all on or not on at all.
No, Carl, I haven't seen the "Don't Smell Like Walter" commercial. No, I have not.
I just realized now I'm gonna have to change the auto bed leveling and crap. I wish I knew somebody that knew something about Marlin.
If only there was somebody out there. I can put you in touch with my guy. He's pretty knowledgeable.
He's kind of a jerk, I heard.
I get to talk to him every Sunday.
I think Glenn and I have the same guy. Damn it. All right, Carl, I'll look at that. I'm doing good, Paul Cumber. How are you, buddy?
I like that. Oh, wild third leg orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I felt kind of funny. I really wanted to, on this whole project, I was going to clone a Mark II because, it's a Mark II. Mark III has a little more magic even yet. But it was a little unsatisfying to buy. I bought a mini Rambo, but I could have bought a 9C for $10 more. And I was like, well, it's not, 9C's cool and all, but it's not what I'm going for.
Right.
So it was kind of like, well, oh well, maybe next time. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch this video, I guess. Asper cream.
Oh, the Don't Smell Like Walter.
Yeah. Now, Glenn, you're hooking this to a solid state relay or something?
Yes, sir. And I splurged the extra money and bought the 40 amp one so I wouldn't run into any issues.
Michael Fox, no, there's still half a roll of Prusament on the TiVo back here. I have enough to print another one of those Batman. I'd actually cut down the infill, though, because I had that one a little high. I put it at 12%. I think I could go with about 8 on that print. You could just about do it in vase mode up to his head.
There you go. Now I got to clone the 3 as well. That'll be a project for next year.
For next year?
Yeah, I'm already running out of slots and dates for this year.
Well, you should be cloning a 4, Mark IV by next year, right?
Yeah, who knows what that's going to look like.
Can I show the Batman? I ain't seen it yet. Sure I can.
I don't know. You guys think that there's like anywhere to go with the whole i3?
I think it's just about I mean, I don't know how much further, especially with 8-bit boards. I don't know how much further you can take it. I don't know many more sensors you can put on it, and what else you can do to it to make it better.
Yeah.
And I mean, now that they're getting into SLA, I see them kind of just letting the FDM stuff just fade off.
Tristan, I hope you can see that, the Batman up here. I just set it on top of the printer. Going to let it sit there for the rest of the stream there. That way you can just see it. Because it works. It's pretty good. It's not too bad. I can move over here. There we go. Oh, I know how you can make a Mark III better. Put a duet Wi-Fi on it. Well, yes and no. I mean, but what do you actually gain other than maybe, processing power?
Yeah, I'm not saying specifically make the Mark III better. That's a pretty fantastic printer. I'm just saying the whole i3. I mean, like, I'm sure that Prusa didn't put everything that they had planned into the Mark III. There's got to be something waiting, but it just doesn't seem like there's much else that could be.
Like I said, though, I mean, with 8-bit, though, I mean, how much more can you actually stick on it?
Right. Well, who says that they're going to stay 8-bit, though? I mean, when the Mark IV comes out, no different than the Mark III going to 24 volt over the 12 volt.
Well, true that.
I don't know. I mean, on that scale, the Mark III is amazing. It really is. And there's, I mean, all the stuff that already existed feature-wise got loaded pretty much into that, plus a little bit more. But I think the i3, we're getting ready for i4. I think it will turn into something else.
What's up, Matt? How I do it's in the house.
How I do it.
I really wish that really and truthfully, I think Prusa could come out with something like we've got here, the Hypercube Evo, and put their magic and sensors and stuff like that on an Evo. And I think it would rock, man.
I really think the next iteration, and I don't know what Prusa is going to do. And Prusa's kind of, they've really broadened their horizons lately from just an i3 company, basically. But I really think the next wave of what we're going to see in innovation is going to revolve around E3D and that tool changer design.
Yeah.
The rails, I mean, kind of like Railcore, but the rails and the tool changing, generic tool, one-size-fits-all schema, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's going to be some serious stuff. Expensive, but really cool. I have a lot of grand ideas. I was talking the other day. I was like, what if I made filament? What if I just started manufacturing filament, but I only made one color? I just made my own personal color, and I was the only one that made that. And I just spooled it,
Well, oddly enough, I kind of was looking at that at the point that, I was talking with IC3D about making Fun King 3D yellow, and they hadn't given me an answer yet. I'm like, well, what do I got to do to just brand my own? You make it for me, and then I buy it and sell it. But yeah. I don't want to invest that kind of money.
Yeah, that's because I'm looking at doing that in February, something similar to that. And it's an investment right up front, especially when you don't know, what was it, Joel? Everybody says that, if you invest in a Kickstarter, make sure it's money you could set on fire and not miss.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
But that's basically the same thing that you would be doing, like I'm thinking about doing, right? Because it's basically here's my money. And have no idea. I do gotta bring this up though. The links came in and said, "Hi all, MKS Gen L and BL Touch on an Ender 3. Is it worth it?" And I think Neary's would be one of the best to answer that because, he does all those printers. Chris has one. What do you think, Chris?
Gen L, BL Touch, Ender 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth it. I mean, that's. The biggest drawback, in my opinion, to the Ender 3 is the memory on the board. You can't use all the cool features. So MKS Gen L gets you out of that situation. BL Touch is not my fave go-to sensor. I would rather go inductive. But, yeah, the small layout for the Ender, I think it's worth it.
Chris and Carl both said the same thing. Not really, because I could always just print with it if it fails to sell, right? Yeah, but I just don't have $2,500 laying around that I can do without.
Yeah, by the time you used up all that filament, it would go bad from sitting around.
Right. Well, vacuum packed, it really shouldn't.
But you know,
I mean, I would still think even vacuum packed, eventually it's going to break down.
eventually, I think it would. But though, if it was just one of us, let's just say Walter did this. He laid down $2,500. Stuff went bad wrong. We could get rid of that filament. I mean, hell, I'll take $500 worth. You know, I mean,
Right.
Right.
No, I get you. I understand that I could get rid of it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But that's not what I want. That's not really what I want to do, though.
That's not the point. Yeah, and I get it. But just saying we could make it work, but that's I don't know.
Because I already talked to Alien to Josh, since basically all he does is sit home and ship stuff anyway. He'd fulfill orders. I mean, we talked about price and all that stuff, and he's really fair. So,
Yeah, I was only going to do one color.
Yeah, I was talking about actually manufacturing it.
Like actually buying the extruding machine and stuff?
Yeah.
Woo!
That's a lot of money.
A long time for return on investment.
But it'd be so cool.
Well, yes.
What were they saying? Like $30,000 per line?
Whew. That's a toughie.
Yeah. But if I did it, I'd want to do it something like Prusa does on their lines. I would want my rolls to be wound like his are wound, and have like that graph that shows you the you can go look at it.
Yeah, that would be killer.
Well, Bryce, you're right. That is one problem.
Yeah, I was just reading that. How is Chep doing it?
Oh,
I would think that he's doing it like Repcord. As a distributor, come in and just rebrand it and sell it.
Yeah.
Hi, Paul. I'm doing well. How are you doing? How's my audio today, guys?
It's not bad.
Because I've had a couple complaints lately that it's crackly and that it's like it's breaking up. It's usually only when I'm heated and angry about something like the E12. I do like me some heat shrink tubing.
Isn't it fun?
I gotta tell a story about the first time I ever used heat shrink tubing. I would have been about Xander's age, and I'd gotten my first RC car. And when you bought the batteries back then, it just like when you took the battery pack out of the box, it didn't have a connector on it. It came with a bunch of connectors in there, but they weren't the crimp-on kind. They had a lead too, so they gave you a little piece of heat shrink tubing. And I didn't realize that I was supposed to cut that heat shrink tubing into two pieces of heat shrink tubing. So I put it down on the two wires and I soldered the two wires together and I pulled the heat shrink tubing over it. And let me tell you what, that didn't go well when the positive and negative were heat shrink together. So I had to go buy a new battery.
Oh, sorry. HVAC A to Z, it was about 9 hours, I believe, on the Batman.
Yeah, I don't like shrinking heat shrink with an open flame either. I mean, it can be done, but it's all about the heat gun. And this heat gun and we go way back. I've dropped it a few times though, so it's a little.
Yeah, Ron asked if the color would be black. You know it, Ron.
What's that?
Uncle Ron asked if the color would be black, and I said, you know it.
And see, mine would be purple, man. It would be some kind of purple.
I want black with blue metal flake in it.
Well, I've been asking IC3D. I'm kind of like Glenn. I want a specific color, but I want it orange with blue flake in it.
Yeah.
Or blue with orange flake. Either one.
Except for they don't do flake.
Right.
They're not flaky.
They're not flaky like that. Oh.
I'm almost completely out of PETG again, so I guess I got to buy some more.
I seem to have this never-ending supply. It's either that or I just haven't printed anything in a while. I really haven't printed much lately. Been kind of busy.
I've been getting a lot of requests lately. Hey, can you print this? I was like, yeah, for money. No, I'm just kidding.
Right? Lots and lots of money.
Yeah.
What do you got for trade? No, I don't think I've ever had anybody ask for me to print them something like commerce-wise, like commission me to do it. I've printed stuff for friends. I've given away stuff that I printed.
I trade for filament quite often.
People see it and then they're like, hey, I'd like to have that. I'm like, sure, here you go.
Usually it's when I print somebody something, it's like, hey, I want to do that project too. Can you print me the parts? I get a lot of hang printer requests. Can you print the parts for that? Those little Wi-Fi monitors that David Payne builds, can you print the case for those? I get that quite often. I'm like, but they're for Octoprint. Don't you have a printer?
Right. Unless they're adapting it for something else.
Yeah, I don't know.
I printed all the MK3 parts for a guy and took it to him at Orlando Maker Fair. He met me there and picked them up.
Oh, nice.
He goes, I'll pay you for your time and your materials. And I said, all right, well, we'll work it out. Well, the materials were given to me. They were sponsored materials, and it's not that it took any of my time. I clicked print and continued doing what I was doing, Right. So when he showed up to pick them up, and I feel bad, I can't remember his name because I'm bad with names. But when he showed up, he's like, oh, I'm here for the MK3 parts. And I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. So I go get them. I had them in a Ziploc baggie in the back, and I bring them out and I hand them to him. I'm like, $100 sound good? The look on his face was like, almost like sheer terror. And I'm like, no, I'm just kidding.
What are you doing to that thing, Chris?
I don't know. It doesn't print worth a darn. So let's see what we can do here.
If you throw it on the floor and stomp up and down on it, it won't print any better, but you'll feel better about it.
I feel like I really got something done today.
Looks to me like I should have probably resliced this benchy. I just grabbed the G code off of, I knew it was in the folder, but I think it was done well before my last tune-up with this thing. So I just grabbed an old benchy and it looks like it's stringing to high heaven. But that also could be the filament being sitting out for 4 months, absorbing water and, whatever else it could absorb.
Why? Is there humidity in Florida?
No. Been kind of dry lately, 50% humidity or 60.
Which is actually dry for Florida.
I know, right?
Oh my God, it was so windy yesterday. I was up on the ladder. I was up on the 10-foot ladder at the top of my mega tree pole, I mean, at the top where I can reach. And it was so windy, it was almost blowing me off the ladder. It was really scary.
You know, these guys have been talking about the colors in filament, and it amazes me that they get as close to the same color every roll as they do, because all they're doing is mixing color pellets in with clear filament.
Yeah, it's all done by weight.
I mean, that's amazing to me that they get as smooth a color as what they do.
Yeah, well, and that the pellet size is that consistent.
Right. Thank you, Paul Smith. I appreciate it. He's a nice Batman. He turned out really good. I was happy. Michael Stewart liked the video of yours, Chris.
All right.
The Windows Octoprint server.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm going to build one of those. I got the machine sitting here. I just got to find the time to do it.
Just use your streaming computer, man.
That's a great idea.
Then you can buy you a new one.
You know, I don't need a new one. That's the thing, you know, like, and that's part of what was really pissing me off about it is this machine is way stronger than it needs to be for doing what I'm doing with it. So I knew it wasn't like a weakness issue. I mean, I've been streaming on this particular machine since the start of my YouTube career. Almost 2 years ago. When is your anniversary stream, Walter?
The 3rd.
The 3rd of
February.
February?
Yes.
That's coming up.
Yeah, I think mine is either in the beginning of May or the beginning of April. I can't remember. I have to look now, but that was my favorite stream that we did last year. That was so much fun giving away all that stuff.
Yeah. Glenn, it's damn it, Chris, we're gonna have to skip you hosting, I guess.
No problem for me.
Because Glenn hosts next week because he got his where he can stream now, and then the following weekend is my anniversary stream.
Yeah, no, I want enough streams to catch up with all the ones I missed. I want some recognition around here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed the how long the Batman. I was going to answer it earlier, but Chris was in the middle of a long answer, and I forgot to come back after. The Batman took 11 and a half hours.
That isn't bad.
No. But it was printing at 120 millimeters per second.
This Pirate King, Octo Pirate King Benchy took like 10 and a half hours yesterday.
Yeah, Lynx. When I thought about the 9, that's how much it had whenever I left yesterday. So after my stream, but my stream was 2 hours long and I'd started it a little 4, so it was 11 and a half hours to print.
Hey, Xander, listen for the door. The pizza guy's coming.
Oh, and I was going to say, by the way, that Windows Octoprint thing, there is some other stuff that you have to do to make it more consistent. And I need to make a follow-up video on it because it gets kind of flaky during reboots. So there's some more tips. If you are building one of those.
Can you have that done this week, please?
I'll give it a shot.
I probably won't get to it this week. But. Well, everybody, that is the FK1 bed with a heater.
Well done.
Hey, it don't cover the whole bed, man.
Nope, it wasn't supposed to.
You're gonna have some cold spots.
This is actually the size of this mat is the printing space. The bed is a ½ inch longer than it had to be because this material comes 48.5 inches.
Right.
I ordered the bed 16 inches by 48 inches, but really it prints 400 by 1200 millimeters. So that should bake everybody's mind that's in the 3D printing world when you can't use imperial measurements.
Nereus, you're probably right. The actual speed, I set the machine at 120 millimeters a second. That's what it was sliced at. But you're probably right. It was probably closer to 70-ish millimeters a second actual print speed.
I'll probably save the installation of that for next weekend. Maybe that's what I'll do next Sunday. I'll bring the FK1 back around here and reinstall the bed and stuff. There's a bubble on the bottom left. No, they're actually all the bubbles are in the middle section.
Bryce asked, how tall is the FK1, Glenn?
About here. No, it's the build height on it is 475. Currently, it has the potential of going like another 120 millimeters if I replace the uprights, and I was gonna, and now I'm kind of thinking I'm not gonna.
Come on, man. How hard is it to replace 4 uprights?
A lot of work.
Come on.
I'd have to take like the majority of the frame apart.
I know.
So why 1200 millimeter? Because 1500 millimeter aluminum was more expensive.
Right? Come in 1200 millimeter sticks. You don't even got to cut them.
No, it turned out to be the size that it is. I forget that not everybody has heard this story, even though I've told it a bazillion times. But the whole project started because I wanted a G Create Big. 1, they don't sell them, and 2, I wouldn't be able to afford it if they could. So I set out to copy the G Create Big, and I went to Gordon from G Create, and I'm like, listen, I love that printer. It's awesome. I'm going to rip you off. And he looked me in the face and he said, do it. Do it. It's so much fun. Do it. And he gave me a bunch of pointers. He told me the problems that he had and what I should do to correct it and stuff. And I came home. This was Murph last year. I came home and I started to design my printer. And I shared it with my friend James from Print and Play, who said to me, well, first he asked very kindly, can you take criticism, which I always can. And then he said, how much does the bed weigh? And I said, well, it's like 17 pounds. And he said, what about the 10 pounds of filament you're going to put on it? And I said, oh, yeah. And he goes, make the bed not move. So I completely redesigned it. That's when it went to the four posts like a cube, and made the bed not move. And then I took it to Irf. I took the design to Irf, and I showed it to Sanjay from E3D, who is way, way, way smarter than I am, and like way younger too. And he looked at it for what felt like forever, but it was probably like 10 seconds. Said, why did you make the axis move on the, the extruder move on the long axis instead of the short axis? I said, because I'm an idiot and you're smarter than I am. And I came home and redesigned it again. And then I didn't show it to anybody else. I said, that's it. I'm all done showing it off. And I just built it.
Hey, y'all did stand there for a good 30 minutes, though. Oh,
I talked to him for a long time. I mean, we walked around. We looked at the Robo printers. We were talking about Robo's printers. And no, I spent some good time with him. He's a really cool guy and so super smart. It just kills me. How often does anyone print models 300 millimeters or taller? Well, I mean, how many people have a printer over 300 millimeters? This printer wasn't really about the height. It was about being able to print wide things, street signs, European license plates, regular license plates. How many watts is the bed? It is 1600. I was going to say 13, but no, it's 13 amps, 1600 watts. It will reach, it's 110 volt AC. It will reach 110 degrees Celsius. At least it's supposed to. That's what it was spec'd to be.
Oh, okay, Nearies.
What's that?
Nothing. Him and Tristan.
I'm the same way, Carl. I want to make sure that it's 100% to my liking before I release it out. I'm almost terrified of having too many remixes of it out there because of not necessarily quality control, but version control. Eggy the Tech, I love my CR10S Pro. I now give it a hug every night before I go to bed. It really surprised me. It really did. I mean, it's
Cherry-
the only printer I've ever taken out of the box and just poof had it work. Even
Cherry Smith, I have not. I want to do some with my MMU2. I really want to do the PVA. Chris, you just had some experience with that, right?
Yeah. There's a learning curve. I mean, I did it with an MMU. Now, on a dual extruder setup, if you had two nozzles, it would probably be much easier. PVA is super stringy, and it likes to jam. So get ready for a little bit of frustration.
Oh no, that's not an A10 though, Tom. It's an E12. You guys, if you can look at Twitter, I don't know if I can. I don't have screen share enabled, but Tom made a knife cover for the E12, and it's got Sad Fun King on it. Frown King.
Where is your E12, Glenn?
I threw it out that front window. It's laying in the front lawn right now.
Did you open the window first?
It's down here on the floor.
765-3748. Incoming call from 850.
Y'all answer the phone over there. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, Bryce said the MMU2 talk got real quiet. What else needs to be fixed?
What happened? Oh, MMU2 talk got all quiet. That's true. Like it was like everybody was talking about that.
Well, that's just like the mosaic, the palette as well.
Yeah. I don't know if I said it this morning or not, but multicolor printing, it didn't take off like I thought it would.
It's because it's not easy and it's expensive.
Yeah. Which reminds me, sometime this week, Mosaic is going to have another stream that I need to check out.
They're doing another live stream, are they?
Yeah, I think it's like on the 25th or something.
Yeah, you said the Mosaic costs too much for a lot of people. Well, the MMU2 costs a lot too, and you have to have an MK3.
Right.
Here he said it's because it's still too hard and too expensive.
The MMU2 did not fail, Nap, and I don't know. It's not a failure. One thing is, like Chris said, it's too expensive because not only filament wise but time wise. Chris, how long? Say minimum benchy 5-color. How long does it take?
Yeah. Like 9 hours. So I mean,
for a benchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's got to be a way that they can fix that, you know.
Nappin said you can run an MMU2 on a duet. And I know you can, but I don't want to have to write the code that it has to feed to it to do it.
And Bryce, it's 2 ends, and Glenn, thank you.
Keep doing it with one.
He was nice enough to ask, Walter. You don't have to be a jerk about it.
Keep doing it with one, so I can hear Glenn whine about it. Yeah, that is one thing too. The purge blocks suck.
Yeah, they do.
Because you can only minimize them so much, even with the infill and all this other stuff. It's so difficult.
Man, this thing has some crazy print speed set on it. Like, that should not even be close.
Okay, Nappin. Because I will try it.
That's the under 3, Chris?
Hypercube.
This is that X-Vico Pioneer that I did today. And there's no USB port, so there's really no tuning it. It's just you get what you get.
Really?
Yep.
Well, that's just not good.
Not cool, man.
Now, did you try printing one of the ones that it shipped with, Chris?
I have not tested I have not tested one of those STL files yet, and I should. Oh, you can reduce speed.
It should come with a knob on the front to vary the speed, like a volume control.
They really should. Ooh, took it to 50%.
You are right, Robert Riggins. That this Benchy was not sliced in the current configuration of this printer. So, yes, it's very hairy. That and wet filament just sucks.
I really hope Banggood doesn't ask me how the printer is tomorrow. I'm gonna have to get really creative with my answer.
Be honest, Chris. Be honest.
I feel bad for my contact because they've been waiting so long. I was like, well.
Yeah, Banggood hasn't even reached back out to me. You know, they sent me that robot arm kit that Xander and I built on the stream, which was fun to play with. But, I tried to tell them if they didn't send me something 3D printing related, it wasn't going to get any traffic.
All right. Question for you two. Dual color printer. Suggestion for Sherry Smith. She said they don't need multiple colors, just looking for main material and support material. Need an already built printer. Looking at the FormBot T-Rex. Open to suggestions on this. Now, I think is this in a school setting, Sherry? I mean, is this like in a classroom style setting? I don't know anything about the FormBot T-Rex, so.
Because we'll all sit waiting for the answer.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I think of, like if it's for school and,
School
production
setting,
use.
4th through 9th.
Yeah, Ultimaker.
Ultimaker.
Yeah, it's a 4th through 9th grade. So, yeah, I mean, they need something probably closed in and safe, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the FormBot is not. The FormBot it's an i3.
Yeah. There you go. Mama said if you can afford it, the Raise 3D.
Oh yeah, 3D. Yeah, the Raise 3D would be a good option. Does sorry, train of thought derailed. What printer did you just mention, Chris?
Ultimaker.
Yeah, she said she's looking.
Do multicolor or multi-material?
Yeah, you can get 2 nozzles, two different extruders.
Said she's looking at the Ultimaker.
Yeah, if they can swing the budgeting for that. Plus, you're going to get fantastic support for that.
Robert Riggins said the Railcore 2.
Isn't the Railcore only a kit though? Can you buy it already assembled?
Yeah, I think I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if Project Red does that or not. They may make exceptions for schools or something. Later, Michael Fox, you and your lady have a good night.
Excellent support is needed, so I'm gonna have to say Ultimaker.
Jake from State Farm, that's not nice.
Let me get my affiliate link for Ultimaker. No, I'm just kidding.
And 3D Print Viking said you can buy it assembled.
Okay. Good to know. They are currently sold out of assembled Railcore. What have you guys heard? Anybody in the chat? There was a color changing kit out there that was available for just a handful of printers. But the way that it worked is it had a piece on the extruder and then a piece mounted at the top of the frame, and it would go up and it would use the extruder to push the filament out, and then it would go over and it would push the next filament in. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
Chameleon?
Yeah, that's Chameleon. They had that at Earth.
Has anybody heard anything about that lately? Like, it was kind of, oh yeah, Vince said Chameleon too. Like there was lots of talk about that for just a little while too, and then
Yeah, I don't know if that ever got sorted or not.
I mean, it was a neat concept.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't modifying anything electronically. You were just adding the pieces. Now, of course, it was only for certain printers. You couldn't put it on every printer, but I think the pizza guy got lost with my pizza.
Sherry Smith, if you have a Dremel, I would continue looking at the Ultimaker then. If you're happy with the Dremels, I think you'll be happier with the Ultimakers.
If you're happy with the Dremel and you know it, clap your hands.
Come on, man.
What, you want me to stop being weird now?
No, no, not at all. But we are 10 minutes over our time limit.
I know. I wasn't going to say anything. Usually you've cut us off by now.
And we're off the air. No, I'm just kidding.
And successfully terminated.
Yeah.
Robbie Mack said, poor Glenn, if only you had a pizza printer. Yeah, somebody needs to get on that. Actually, I won't be partaking in any pizza tonight. It's just for the kids.
Me neither. My wife fixed fried chicken and mashed potatoes and gravy and all that stuff last night. That's what I'm having tonight for supper's leftovers.
Yeah, no, Grisilla woke me up. It was about, I guess, about 8:15 this morning. And like she woke me up and I could immediately see this look of distress on her face. And of course, my brain ran through like 1,000 scenarios on what she was upset about. You know, like, was the cat hurt? Was the kids hurt? You know, not in that order. Just whatever. But she had like this massive pain in her side opposite the appendix. So we took her in and they did a CT scan and they think that it's an infection. And so we have to go back tomorrow for the results. But it's been a rough day. So everybody keep her in your thoughts and prayers. I'd appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Glenn, where did you get the Benchy file? This one, the Octo Pirate King Benchy. This was done by Tom 3D Printing Llama. It needs a little tweaking. For some reason, one of the legs failed, and we don't know why. It could have been the printer. I don't know. Could have been Tom's crappy modeling. I mean, he knocked this thing out in like 12 seconds. He goes, oh, if you'll print it, I'll model it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll print it. I didn't know he meant the next day. And it was like, he goes, watch your inbox. And all of a sudden, ba-ding, it was in there. I'm like, holy crap. Yeah, he knocked it out pretty quick. So, and it's really a nice print. It printed the crown nice. You can't see him very well because, you know, he's stuck in the cab there. But it did print nice.
The next thing Tom needs to do, though, you see the filaments with the raisable visor.
Right.
We need one of those with a Walter head in it.
Hey, my wife is still mad at Llama. He needs to do her print. She's still upset about that.
Oh, I'm sure she is. Yeah, I'm sure
he
she
did.
is.
He did mine. He did my daughter's. But Virginia's like, what? He don't like me or what?
No, it's I said the Chris Riley head though, and of course I just moved it. The Chris Riley head. I think we need to model some kind of a base. Was it like in the game Candyland? How the little people had the base. They need the base to hold it up by the ponytail,
Right?
or we'll just stick it in the Benchy.
Hey, you know what you could do, man? Get you one of those like the magnetic globe things, and then put a neodymium magnet in there so he would just float. There you go. That's the Chris Benchy if I've ever seen one.
Wait. We'll turn it like this, and then it's like a puff of smoke.
I was gonna say, not only is it in the Benchy, it looks like smoke shaped like me.
Oh, that is awesome. Oh, that is fan. I'm going to leave it like that forever now. I'm going to use some 3D gloop and make sure that never comes out.
Never comes out. You got to bring it to Murph, man. We'll put that on the table.
Oh, that is so funny. Whew. And it's like scale-wise, it's perfect. Oh, that's funny.
Awesome.
Regina's an easy model, just a middle finger.
Right?
Thank you, Bryce. I appreciate that, brother.
So basically, he's going to have a head with a middle finger in front of it.
Tom said, okay, oh man, I'm modeling it that way. Toot toot. That'd be fun too, to take the Chris Riley head. You'd have to make the ponytail a little bit thicker, but make it a whistle so the sound comes out of the mouth.
That's just not right.
Aren't you guys so sad that you guys didn't have a character for your channel that wasn't your own head?
Yeah, no kidding.
Because I get fun stuff like this instead. This one is actually missing one of the points of his crown. It's only a 3-point crown. But Tom did also send me a llama head. I got a llama head. And then all of these little squishies that are supposed to go on top of the lead screws. I have tape up there right now so I don't poke myself in the eye, so he sent me these instead.
That's right, Robbie Mack. And don't you forget it. My wife is an angel. Sent from the depths of hell.
All right, Tom. The Fun Kings are on top of the lead screws. By the way, it was the ones with the smallest holes because those screws taper at the top. Robert Valine throwing down $20 US to you, Walter.
Thank you, Robert. And you wouldn't have caught us if we'd have cut off on time because it's $6.17 now. So I'm going to wait until the 13 minutes. We're going to go to 6:30 because my benchy's not going to finish. I don't know. It says it's at 56%.
Well, at the point that
on the roof.
The point he just threw down $20 to you, you better wait at least until that thing expires.
Oh, okay. We can do that.
I don't know how long it'll take to expire, but
I don't know. Later, Robbie Mack. Take it easy, buddy.
Neri says to set up a PayPal, YouTube takes 30%. PayPal only takes 3%, which is true. The only thing is when you get PayPal donations, it doesn't make such a big deal about it.
I do have PayPal. It's in the description below. It's paypal.me/country3d. Pretty easy to find.
I got to take some time and get better about setting up my Streamlabs and stuff so that stuff pops up when people subscribe and donate and stuff.
Well, they don't have a PayPal Me one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I don't have a screen on here or it would have popped up for his. I don't have a screen. I just set up this screen today with the cameras and stuff. So yeah. I don't have all that stuff added.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I got to take some time and do because, I wiped all of this out and had to recreate all of it. So there's a lot of things that aren't right. In fact, I remember going to Nightbot and shut off. I set up a Nightbot yesterday so that it would come up and just say, hey, I'm not here the whole day, whatever.
Wait, Mike Benedito got mad because we didn't answer his question.
Oh.
And you know what his question was? Can we make a joint rolling machine?
Oh.
That's why we didn't answer it.
Why didn't we answer that? Plus he called us cucks. So
right.
I just dropped the band hammer.
Oh well,
we don't need that. We don't need that around here.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
But that's why I didn't answer it. I just let it go. Let him ask his question. But then he wants to be a Chris Riley head.
Matt, Jake from State Farm said that's because you're a tool.
That's probably right.
Nere's, I don't want to answer that question. You can Google it, but do it in an incognito window. Not too often I see a word I have to look up. Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those newfangled words that the kids are throwing around.
Yeah, none of those would describe any of us, I don't think. So now, I don't know about Chris. Chris is a pretty heavy progressive political view guy.
Hang on a second. I have to look up the word progressive.
He's not the moderate progressive.
The bandhammer, stern but fair.
All right.
I just told Zach that I would print him a Thor hammer. He's got one that he got years ago. That it's foam, like kind of rigid, but soft enough that if you hit somebody with it, you're not going to hurt them. But all of the outer coating is worn off, so it looks like the inside of a Nerf football. So it looks like a Nerf football on a stick. So I think you need a new one.
I believe my Benchy's going to finish.
Nobody knew who that guy was, right?
No, I'd never seen him before.
Okay.
No.
Then I don't feel bad. That's probably only the second person I've ever banned, ever. Like me, usually the moderators take care of it, and then I don't get to. So today I'm a moderator, and so I noticed, I think it was yesterday or maybe it was the night before in the stream, that some of my moderators were missing. Like Matt, How I Do It, Matt came in and he didn't have a wrench anymore. Which
really?
I thought that was kind of weird. So
Martin, you didn't have to drop that on Steven. You didn't have to block that. I mean, he's more than welcome to say that.
He's trying to keep it politics free.
Because I'm sorry, contrary to popular belief, Trump is the president of the United States.
I like 3D printers.
I do like 3D printers.
I do too.
I like to talk about 3D printers. Uncle Ron said, I guess I'm not annoying you. No, I've just learned to put up with you, Uncle Ron.
Yeah, Chris. Hey, Chris, why don't you tell us about the mods having to work really hard on your channel today?
Matt said, could have been like Jimmy Shaw's stream after yours, Glenn. We all had wrenches.
What'd you say, Walter?
How somebody said the mods had to work really hard on your stream today.
They did. It was kind of ugly, and I hate to see that. I hate to have anybody come to my channel and witness that kind of thing, but there were some pretty harsh words and usernames flying around today. Not cool.
Yeah.
Do you not have any filters on your channel at all, Chris?
I do, but they get real creative with how they put them in.
Oh, I should send you my list. I got my list. It was actually generated by a Christian church somewhere, and it is the most creative list I've ever seen. As far now, like they blocked words like poop and fart, and like there was some that I went through, and I'm like, nah, you can't have a good joke without the word fart in it, So like I let stuff like that through, but like obviously A55, stuff like that. They picked it up. It's a good list. I'll send it to you. So, and I've got it both in the YouTube block as well as the Nightbot block.
Yeah. I need to, because Nightbot, you lock him down and then everybody gets punished. But
right.
Then,
You got to
pull it off, and then all this stuff starts happening.
Right. Yeah. You have to walk that very fine line so that people aren't. Plus, I don't know. Once Nightbot blocks, once they time somebody out, I don't know how to go in and manually untime them out.
You have to go into. You can go in. You can't untime them out. Now, if it blocks them completely, you can.
Right.
You can't untime somebody out.
Yeah, I tried Googling it and everything. I couldn't find anything.
Oh, let me move this out of the way.
Uncle Ron said 60 degrees this morning, 14 degrees tomorrow. I think I'm coming back to your way. Well, it was 80 degrees yesterday and 50 today.
Yeah, we had 73 yesterday and 40 today. So
yeah,
I broke my Benchy when I got it off the bed.
Oh,
yeah, that filament didn't stick together very well.
Turn the heat up on it.
Well, I just think it's just.
Oh, you didn't slice for that. That was the old profile. Yeah.
Yeah, this some crap. I mean, I don't even know that it was for this printer.
That's always fun.
Yeah, it was just a benchy I had in a folder.
Chris Hitchabout Kohler comes in and says, "Howdy, howdy."
I broke the smokestack off.
Break it off completely, and then it's a solar powered benchy.
Solar panel in effect. But my Hypercube is back to printing, so I'm happy.
My Glenn drinking game is rubbish today. Oh, because it hasn't dropped. You'll have to adapt the rules so when I get up and walk off to the FK1 or something, that counts. But
thank you, Gopama-san. I appreciate it. I printed it, so yeah, I like it. Red Light said, "Stop crying. It's going to be 2 tonight and a high of 7 tomorrow for them."
That's terrible. Well, if it's any consolation, it's very windy here. The streaming computer survived. It has not rebooted since I replaced the power supply yesterday. So, and then Tom last night trying to convince me to keep that power supply and use it elsewhere and test. I'm like, no, I'm going to smash it with a hammer and throw it away. I don't ever want to take a chance. No, that really kicked my butt. That was it just didn't make sense to me, the fact that the only time it kicked out was during streaming. And I mean, I threw some hard tests at this computer. I could run CAD on it. The burn-in tests. Oh, pizza's here. I'll be back. Oh, it's dark. We should have turned the front light on.
As soon as he gets back, Chris, we're going to sign off of here.
All righty. My wife didn't make me any dinner. Now I got to go find something to make.
Like I said, I'm going to have some leftovers.
Yes. There might be some leftovers up there. That's always a good choice. She made me lunch, but
I had a ham sandwich for lunch. I think I'm going to recycle this benchy. Went right into the recycle bin.
I mailed out. So my Patreon, $10. Like after 2 months at the 10 level and 2 months at the 20 level, I send you a box of stuff, and I always throw a handful of benchies in there. And I sent out I try to set them pretty close to the beginning of the month or the middle or like the 15th, somewhere in there. And I had like 5 of them this month, which is awesome. Thank you, everyone. But I was packing benchies in there, and I'm like, hey, this one isn't too bad. And then I put it in like, oh, this one's terrible. I'm definitely sending that one.
That's just wrong, man.
They'll love it.
I seem to remember getting a box full of benchies from somebody named Chris Riley.
Yeah, I'm starting to lose a few, but I got many more machines to make more benchies.
Yeah, I really need to slice another one and put on this printer and actually let it print and put some good filament on it, because this is, I don't even know what filament this is. Oh, this was that's why it didn't print very well. Oh, I didn't even notice. This is the little spool of PETG that Prusa sent me for the 2.5 upgrade.
Oh.
I just printed a PLA benchy with PETG.
Oh, that'll do it.
No wonder it didn't stick together.
I've done that a few times, actually, on accident.
Dude, I got so mad one night, man. I'm sitting there printing, and I couldn't get it to stick to the bed. I couldn't get it to melt. It was clogging, right? So I got to looking, and I'm like, that's friggin' ABS. Amazon sent me the wrong filament. And then I got and checked my order, and I'm like, nope, you ordered ABS, you dummy. All right, Glenn, you ready to do your outro since you got your pizza there?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to do it now?
Yes, now.
Oh,
now.
Well, I need a minute to get ready.
Oh.
You gotta get into character.
Got to get back into the Glenn character.
Red leather, yellow leather.
one of the guys in the band at church, the drummer, he was saying, like, when you're on stage but you don't know the words to the song they're singing, you just mouth the word watermelon over and over again, and it looks like you're singing.
All right. You can do. I think it's double bubble gum will do the same thing.
That's too funny. All right, everybody. Well, I am Glenn, and this is Fun King 3D, and we are a father and son channel that does 3D printing and electronic projects, both of which we have some good ones coming up through this year. We are found pretty much everywhere at Fun King 3D. FunKing3D.com is the easiest place to find us. We love to chat on Twitter. We hate to chat on Facebook, though we are on the Facebook. Nothing. I don't think I have anything coming out this week video-wise that I know of yet. I might be releasing the video on the 3D printing pen, which shocked me completely because I thought that was going to be a pile of garbage too, and it was actually pretty fun. I think that's all I got. So, yeah, that would be you, Chris.
Yes, I am Chris Riley of Chris's Basement. I've been hanging out pretty much all day today. Thanks for everybody that came to both of the streams. It's always awesome. I can be found on YouTube / Chris Riley. There's going to be content coming out next week. Hopefully, it will be you will enjoy it. And I am also on Twitter, Chris Riley 3D. We can chat there. If you have any problems, just let me know. I'll try to help you with them. And that's it.
All right, guys. I'm Walter, Kuntry 3D. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Kuntry 3D. We tinker, we print, and we build stuff using 3D printers, including more 3D printers. So thank you for being here on Fun in the Kuntry Basement. I appreciate Glenn and Chris being there. And we will see you next Sunday for Fun in the Kuntry Basement. I will see you tomorrow evening on Country Time. Thanks, guys.